Hey YouTube, this is Gambit896 on my next review for you guys. I will be looking at The Goon Volume 2, My Murderous Childhood, both written and illustrated by Eric Powell. This volume reprints issues 1 through 4, and as you can probably tell from the cover, we have the origins of the Goon, how he grew up, and how he met Carbine Labrosio, and how he later on became the leader of the Lambrosio mob later on in life. So, as you can probably tell from that cover, again, Eric Powell's covers and his art in general are just absolutely fantastic. We also get, like I said, we get a glimpse of the Goon growing up, and we find out that he was raised by his auntie, who was a wrestler in the circus. So the Goon basically grew up just helping out his auntie with odd jobs, and also helping her with her training as a wrestler, which I personally wouldn't want to do because, well, my tolerance for pain isn't exactly as high as the Goon's, but anyway, that's another story for another day. We also get the motivations of one of the zombie priest's lieutenants, and why he went to work for him, and why he still does, and they are quite understandable motivations, at least at first, when you read what they are. Again, we also have the Goon and Franky just basically trying to keep the zombies at bay out of Lonely Street, because as you know from the previous volume, the zombie priest is trying to take over Lonely Street and the Goon's criminal territory. We also have some more appearances from the zombie priest himself and Buzzard as well, who you will also have met from the previous volume. And he's basically, Buzzard is vowing against the zombie priest that he will find a way to kill him one day, no matter how long it takes. We also get the introduction of the Hobos, which are another gang in the Goon universe, who live in the Hobo jungle and speak their own language, which is pretty funny. We also have another great example of a double-page spread from Eric Powell of the Goon, just basically letting some hobos know that he shouldn't be messed with in his own way. And again, Eric Powell's artwork is just absolutely fantastic. We also get the first appearance of Dr. Harmonious Alloy. Let me just see if I can find. Here we are. So there's the cover for the issue where Dr. Harmonious Alloy is introduced, as you can see, and then at the bottom of the panel on this page we can see our first appearance of him. He's basically a scientist in the Goon universe who is sort of got a bit of a split personality issues really, and I won't really go into it more than that. You need to read it to find out. We also get the Goon going up against one of the creations of Dr. Harmonious Alloy, which is this big Submariner robot, where basically the Goon just gets his ass kicked, for lack of a better term. And we also have a last-minute rescue from one of the old ladies at Lonely Street, basically telling the doctor that the Goon is the only reason that the zombie priest is keeping his distance at all times, because he knows that the Goon can just plow through his armies with Franky with their guns and their cars like there's no tomorrow. We also get the introduction of the Goon and Franky as they were kids, and how they met and how they became lifelong friends. We also get to meet Franky's mother in a bit, which I'll show you in a second. But here we have Franky and the Goon basically walking along together after the Goon has just saved Franky from a beatdown from some neighborhood kids. Here we are, is our first glimpse of Franky's mother, who's a bit of a tough old lady really, and probably a bit of a defining influence on Franky later on in life. Which I think he secretly aspires to her, because she doesn't take anything from anyone, and neither does Franky. We also get the Goon and Franky's first interaction with zombies as they were kids. Of course, Franky's a little scared at the start to begin with, but of course, after he plucks up the courage, he just goes absolutely crazy with a fire axe on the zombies, which is pretty cool because we get to see essentially Franky's evolution into the Franky that we all know from the first volume. We also get a Monster of the Deep story with Fishy Pete's mother, who, if you don't know who Fishy Pete is, he was in the first volume. He's kind of the kingpin of the docks in the Goon universe. We also have a good story with an ape who has a fondness for blackberry pie, to say the least. And we also have, once he smells a pie, he just goes on a rampage, as you can see. And then we also get him meeting the Goon, and I won't say any more than that. We also get the introduction of the Mud Brothers, who are basically two loan sharks who collect loan shark money in the Goon universe. You also have some of the sketches from some initial concept art from Eric Powell. Here's a good example, just there. We also see what Buzzard originally looked like. Let me just flip to the page for you guys. There we have Buzzard's initial concept of what he originally was supposed to look like. But of course, over time his look obviously changed into what we now see in the first volume and in this one. We also have some early sketches of Dr. Harmonious Alloy, which he kind of looks like Mr. Freeze from the Batman comics, but obviously, as I've shown you guys before, his look eventually changed into what you saw just now. We also have Eric Powell's son, who did the modelling for a younger version of the Goon, for the Goon's origin story, and also how the Goon and Franky met when they were kids. And again, is another great example of the fact that Eric Powell doesn't need colours and inks to be a good artist. I mean, from this black and white illustration that I'm showing you guys, it's just, yeah, his artwork is just great. It's fantastic. We also get, again, same with the previous volume, we get a list of the various volumes of the Goon so far. I believe we're on volume 11, which is due to be released sometime this year, which I will eventually be getting more of the series, as I'm hopefully going to complete it up until volume 11, eventually at some point. So yeah, this has been my review for The Goon Volume 2, My Murderous Childhood. If you like what you saw, please comment, rate and subscribe. And I'll hopefully be doing, again, more reviews of The Goon, because I still have volumes 3 and 4 to review for you guys. So this has been Gambit896, signing off. Take care, guys.